Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you an update what's going on at the garage. So, 1977 Corvette restomod. We are coming along very nicely on this car. As you can see here, we now are starting the reassembly of the steering column. We had taken it all apart, as you remember in one of my previous videos, sanded everything down, repainted it, sanded all this down, fixed all the cracks in it, epoxied them all back together. And then cleaned it all up and painted it. And it is starting to go back together. Almost everything inside of here is going to be new. There are a number of parts that aren't going to be because things like that you can't get. This piece you cannot get. All of that stuff will be used over again because you can't get them. And then some things like the headlight high beam switch right here, we're going to use the old switch over as well as the ignition switch here. We're going to use these over because the older ones are just a much better built piece than a lot of these new repop ones. When you push this in, you can feel the difference. It has a nice positive click and a nice strong pull to it. The newer ones, they feel very, very spongy, and they just don't have that nice feel like the older ones do. So we just take everything apart, clean it all up, clean up all the contacts, grease it, put it all back together. We're putting a new turn signal cancellation switch on it, along with all the new horn pieces. Those are all going in. The tilt column ball, that is all new. It has been replaced, greased, and ready to go in. Then if you look here, there's some more new parts for the tilt telescope stuff. This is the new key switch and cylinder that are going into it. And we got the new GM key for it. Another piece we're replacing is going to be this piece and the horn button. These are both for the horn. This ring we'll use over because it's still good. We'll replace this ring. This piece is getting replaced. As you can see, we have it right here, and that is for the telescope on the column. Then this is your lock for when you take the key out. This locks the steering wheel in place so they can't steal it. This is the lock for that. Then your horn button contact right here, we're replacing that. As you can see, that is right there. And this is the turn signal section that goes over the turn signal and the high beam switch. As you can see how nice the paint came out on that. That looks absolutely beautiful. Again, we took all this down to bare plastic, put some adhesion promoter on it, and then painted over that, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Here are the old column bearings that go inside of this main structure right here. This is the center structure, and you can see there, see way down there, that is the new bearing we just put in, and then this bearing that's sitting over here will go right there. And these are the old bearings, and you can see why we replaced them, because the old bearing is cracked. It's no good. When we took it apart, all the balls started falling out. And you can also see with this bearing, it's just old, dirty, grimy. Just time to change them. They're cheap enough. Just do it while you have it all apart. Here is the new high-low beam switch with the windshield wiper handle on it. So you turn your windshield wipers on and off right here, and you can turn your high and low beam switch headlights on and off right here. This switch alone is $600 just for that switch. So yeah, because this switch is no longer made. You can only find them as old factory parts. It's new old stock is what they call it. So we're starting to put all of this back together, and then it will go on to the steering column. And then over here we have some of the old pieces, like this is the old turn signal cancel switch. It's broken. It doesn't want to turn off when you turn one way. So replace it. You got it all apart. It also comes with all the new wire harness for it. Then you have this is the old high beam windshield wiper switch. And again, it's all apart. This thing is beat to crap. You can see right here, someone had tried soldering that back together and then taping everything up. but if you look underneath the tape, you'll see all the wiring is pretty bad on that. So just replace it. It's just easier. If I can get the parts, I like to replace them. This is the old horn spring, this right here. That's the old contact for it. We replaced it. This is the old ball for the tilt mechanism in the steering column. We replaced it. This is the lower bearing for the steering column shaft. We replaced it. There is the old windshield wiper handle. Replace it. It makes the interior of the car look so much nicer. This is the old pull for the tilt column. So you would pull it and the column would be able to tilt up and down, plus it had the cruise control on it right there. Well, he's not using cruise control, so we just got a regular tilt style lever for the car. So, you know, just replace it. There is no cruise control on this, so there is no need to have the button and to have it say cruise. So we replace that. The old lock cylinder, and again, it doesn't have the original style GM key. We're replacing that. So yeah, that's basically what's going on with this car. There are a lot of parts, and it takes a lot of time to put one of these together. Takes about 3 days to put it together. It probably took 2 days to take it apart, and then we have about 5 days into just sanding everything down, fixing all the plastics, getting them all back to nice condition, because this had a bunch of cracks in it. Somebody had beat on it with something and it was cracked really bad. So you cannot get this piece new. So we went ahead and epoxied everything and then cleaned it all up and made it look like it's brand spanking new. Same thing with a couple of parts over there that we had to paint. It just took a lot of time because you have to get all of, like on this sleeve that goes over the column, you have to get all the old paint off, or else you'll see where the old paint was, and there's a possibility all that old paint will chip off. After you do all that, then you have to prep it for paint, hang it up, tape everything off that needs to be taped off, even on this one, paint it, let it dry, and then start putting it all together. So we'll probably have just into this column, I'm going to say somewhere in about a week and a half. So figure 40 to 60 hours just in, about 40 to 60 hours just into rebuilding, repainting, and putting this column back together. So there you go, guys. That's what's going on with the Corvette. Can't wait to start getting everything. And look at that exhaust system. Doesn't that look so good? God, that looks so good. Had it all jet coated, so this way it stays nice under the car, keeps the heat out from under the car. But man, that looks so good. Can't wait to get this thing running. So there you go. We'll talk to you real soon. Have fun. Okay, bye.